Luciferian government revealed. Okay? Can I draw you a map of the Luciferian government? Okay. All right, hold on. There it is. Y'all know where this is going. Ooh. Yep. Yeah. Luciferian government revealed. Kabbalah. Kabbalah. Now, when we begin to understand Kabbalah, what we have to understand is that Kabbalah is revealed in Jewish mysticism. Right? That's the soil that you planted in. Do you find Kabbalah in New Age? Absolutely. But, you know, in the New Age, they just take pieces and they kind of plug and play, but it has no foundation or rooting in New Age. It's actually borrowed. It's actually borrowed because some of the same occultists that created the New Age, Mary Alice Bailey and others, like they were students of Kabbalah. Now the Kabbalah, and for those of you, I have a 12-part series on YouTube. You know, it makes a lot of sense of a lot of things with this belief system. The Kabbalah is rooted in a series of books. It's not just one thing. It comes from Zohar. It comes from the Sefer Yetzirah. It comes from the Book of Formations and 3 Enoch, which is not the Book of the Watchers. 1 Enoch. They're totally different. This one was written by a Jewish rabbi in like 600 AD. The Zohar, they don't even know where that came from or how old it really is. Now, as you begin to study the Kabbalah, what you realize is that it is several things. It is a counterfeit creative template. What does that mean? They use Kabbalah to rewrite the creation story in Genesis. It is also an ascension protocol. Right? So, we're going to get to why this matters in a minute. And boy, oh boy. So now, as a counterfeit creative template, right, Kabbalah basically says several things. And I'm going to breeze over this because the deep study, you can look it up. But they basically take Genesis 1:1 and rewrite it. They rewrite it to mean that in the beginning, an unknowable God called Ein Sof releases light. He opens up a pocket in himself and releases light, and that light goes into Keter, the crown, and so in the beginning becomes like the person of the Ein Sof, an unknowable God who creates Elohim. That's how they rewrite Genesis 1:1. So Elohim is not the creator. Elohim becomes, in their version, the created God, right? And so then they say that the first creation is essentially the crown, which they call Keter, and this is equal to Adam Caban, which they call primordial man, right? And from this, you have a dissension through what they call sephirotes, it's almost like light being downgraded in intensity through sephirotes until you hit a physical world. Everything else is above the physical world, and the only one down here is Malkut. Now, Malkut, or kingdom, in their belief system, is synonymous with Shekinah, which is also the wife of Antichrist, which is why I don't sing songs to Shekinah at Bride Ministries. Now, I'm jumping ahead because I can't connect all the dots in this talk. Now, as you begin to follow their theory of the creation, what happens is you have the idea that as the light goes through the different sephirots creating the creation, it kind of looks like this lightning bolt going down to Malkut. It's just, so it goes from Keter to Chokmah to Bina to Da'at to Gevurah to, it just blah, 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 all the way down. And this kind of, connects in the Christian side of things to what Jesus said. I saw Satan fall from heaven like lightning. This is actually Satan's rewrite of the creation story for his government. His counterfeit creative template gives way to his counterfeit ascension protocol. Now, just like the light went down like this, the counterfeit ascension protocol in Kabbalah tries to pull people up in the opposite direction into the different spheres or sephirots of Kabbalah, which open up different worlds. Those worlds will give them encounters with different heavenly beings, different heavenly councils, even different planets, right? So you have heavy-duty, hectic astral travel. And in order to do the hectic astral travel in Kabbalah, they will use something called Merkabah mysticism. Merkabah means chariot. Now, one of the ways to make the Merkabah mysticism work is you take your person and you do this spiritual exercise where you basically imagine yourself to be inside of two intertwining pyramids that spin in opposite directions. So you pull your soul out of your body and begin to ascend the Kabbalah tree in your chariot, or Merkabah. The destination takes you into, this is all second heaven. All second heaven. And so what the Jews did post return of Christ is they began to embrace Kabbalah. Now, not every Jewish and Judaistic sect embraces this across the board. I'd say 90% to 95%. And even some of the Christian Hebrew roots groups, they're very much plugged into, right, sources of revelation from these books in addition to the different, books in Judaism, like the, drawing a blank on all those different books. Talmud, Mishnah, so forth. And so, with this said, right, we are looking at a higher dimensional government that the kingdom of darkness wants to bring into this world. It is a higher dimensional government that the kingdom of darkness wants to bring into this world. Because you have the kingdom of God, which is a kingdom that is not of this world, and the kingdom of darkness, which is a kingdom that is not of this world. Now, one of the interesting things about this, right, we have a point on the tree called Da'at up here. This is called Yesed. This right here is Tiferet. Yep. And then we have Chesed. We have Gevurah, Had, and Netzach. Those are the names of the Sephirot. Netzach, right? And so this right here becomes what they call the microprosopis. Prosopis, which is basically equal to their, Meshiach ben Yosef. This is all terms from Kabbalah. Now, when I did my study and put all the pieces together, what I realized is their Messiah ben Yosef becomes our Antichrist from 2 Thessalonians. Man of sin, son of perdition. But the Kabbalah called him the Meshiach ben Yosef. And he is a serpent Messiah. He is a serpent Messiah. Now, the interesting thing is all of the occult works on sacred geometries. If you want to understand transitioning through different dimensional planes, you actually use sacred geometries to do it. Now, this is where I'm going to really mess you all up and why I need a little bit more time. Because this right here, the microprosopis, the Messiah ben Yosef, that is married to the Shekinah, which is the wife of Antichrist, right? The physical 3D world, right? We're trying to marry this to this. You know what this is? This is a tesseract. This right here is actually the four-dimensional cube. Now I'm going to show you. No, hold on. You're not ready for this. All right. Seeing is believing. Okay, here we go. So we're just going to pull it out. Oh, man. Here we are. And by the way, Tiferet, Tiferet is synonymous with the heart in the belief system of Kabbalah. And the Tiferet is when they use the Kabbalah in satanic ritual programming. This is the part that they wrap in death. They actually wrap the whole realm in death according to the Kabbalah tree. So at the center of this structure, which is also Metatron's cube. Okay, so do not ascend to Metatron's cube because this is it. Okay, is a death portal. Now, yep. Hold on. All right, there we go. There it is. Nope. I'm trying to do this in an order where you guys can see it. So this is basically a cube that you are looking at from the corner. Okay? And this out here becomes a much larger cube that you are looking at again from the corner. So you have the little cube inside of the bigger cube. This is the same tesseract that I was showing you guys as a demonstration of the four-dimensional reality. All right. Now here's the mess. When you look at the sacred geometry, also hidden in Metatron's cube, you run into, right, the six-pointed star. The six-pointed star. And now, what we begin to understand is that's the six-pointed star, as is used by political Israel, is actually derived from the Kabbalah as a sacred geometry that sits on top of a four-dimensional hypercube within the same sacred geometry, which is ascribed to Metatron and the Antichrist, whose center point is death, who is designed to be married to the physical realm, which they call Shekinah. Because it is the Luciferian government being reflected, and the entire encounter realm is a second heaven, fallen realm. See, now, this is where I'm going to really get myself in trouble, shoot myself in the foot, and probably have to answer some very brutal questions for the people's time. But this is the thing. This is what Christianity needs to understand. Okay, in 1871, there was a letter written from a guy named Mazzini to Albert Pike, who was a 33rd degree Freemason, occultist, conspirator, and evil person. Right? He wrote the book Morals and Dogma. He was not a good person. Also a student of Kabbalah for its occult value. Now, Mazzini was writing a letter to Pike because they were part of the Illuminati, aka globalists, aka deep state. Here's the plan, right? Here's the plan in 1871. Here's the plan in 1871. I'm going to read you the letter. I'm going to read it to you, word for word, and I want to talk about it. The plan is, Albert Pike, 33rd degree Freemason, evil person. The First World War. You know, that didn't happen until the early 19th century, right? So this is like 30 plus years before that even kicks off. The First World War must be brought about in order to permit the Illuminati to overthrow the power of the czars in Russia. This was the Rothschild faction of the Illuminati attacking the Romanovs in a power grab. All right. Making that country a fortress of atheistic communism, the divergences caused by the agents of the Illuminati between the British and Germanic empires will be used to foment this war. At the end of the war, communism will be built and used in order to destroy the other governments and in order to weaken the nations. Now then he said the Second World War. Let me explain what we're going to use that for as we, the Illuminati and globalists, advance our plan derived from the Luciferian government where we're getting all of our interdimensional traffic and trade from. We're getting all our power from this government, and this is the agenda that's coming in through it that we're supposed to execute through our future generations.